video is all about a continuation of a trip that we've just done on the Holland Track. I'm a member of the Wanneroo Wanderers 4-wheel drive club, and we've spent the last 5 days going to and along the Holland Track. We're currently heading towards Victoria Rock to have a look, and then on to Coolgardie. Once we get to Coolgardie, we'll decide a course of action from there, whether we stay there this evening because we are a little bit behind time, or whether we continue on to Burra Rock. We're down to 10 cars at the moment. We started, I think, with 15, but slowly but surely they've been dropping off to return to Perth, either for work or for some other reasons. So yeah, at the moment we're down to 10 cars, and that could change once we reach Coolgardie. The trip along the Holland Track was tough in places. If you want to have a look at that video, then go to the channel. You'll find it easy enough, I'm sure. I'll also put the link in the description below. We've arrived at Coolgardie, and we've pulled up to a pioneer cemetery, and we think this is the final resting place for John Holland, who was the bloke who blazed that trail through the bush from Broome Hill all the way to Coolgardie, the Goldfields. And 18,000 blokes did that trek, pushing all their belongings in just a wooden cart.
My brother was 8, remember when he came 8?
It says something about the hospital food, if blokes would rather die than eat it. Right, from here, refuel, get some supplies for those people that need them, and then we'll head out of town towards Burra Rock and find a bush camp for the night. This is Burra Rocks. This is a permanent campsite. I believe there's plentiful fresh water here, so I don't know about the others, but maybe a shower. Because this is a recognised campsite, other people are here already, and I don't know how we're going to go. You can't just pull up anywhere you like. They've got bays marked out. So I don't know how you're going to go finding a spot for 10 or 11 vehicles. Yeah, maybe this was a poor choice, I don't know. I think somebody within our group has found an area that might accommodate most of us, at least I think.
I think she saw him that morning when I spoke to her neighbour.
They often discharge
An early morning walk on Burra Rock. Early settlers used to channel the water by putting up stone walls that would, after rainfall, would channel all the water into ponds, and seems to have worked. I'm about a third of the way up the rock. I don't know the last time they had rain, but yeah, channeling the water obviously works.
Woodlines track.
Alright, we've left Burra Rocks, and we're now heading to Cave Hill. It's only 40 kilometres away. We're actually using the original alignment from one of the railway lines that used to operate in the area. You can tell when you start to travel on the railway forms that it's elevated, straight, and sometimes quite narrow in places, yeah. Well, this is called Cave Hill. It's called that because of an overhang or a cave on the other side of this rock. So I'll go and have a look at that. But this rock in particular is quite significant because in this part of the world they used to use these rocks to help channel water after rain into ponds or dams, and that water was used for when the steam locomotives used to work and operate in this area back in the day. So that was one way of harvesting the water. And when you've got a rock as big as this, obviousobviously after rainfall there'd be quite a bit of runoff. But anyway, we'll get to the top and we'll check it out, eh? We've left for the morning after spending yesterday just crawling over the rock and relaxing. Some people took the opportunity to actually go swimming in one of the dams. Most people walked either around or over the rock towards another campground on the cave side of Cave Hill. Today we're not quite sure of our destination. We could end up at Lake Johnson. Depending on what time of the day we get there, we may continue on towards heading west towards Hyde, and we'll see how far we get. Initially the first 40 kilometres could be a little bit challenging in places. We're going to be following what used to be an old railway formation. Occasionally you'll see signs of the old railway line. You can see some sleepers there. Well, we're driving around in circles looking for Banks Rock. We've taken a couple of wrong turns. Some of these tracks aren't very well marked at all. I think we're heading in the right direction now, probably about another 1500 metres before we get there, I think. Well, there's the cairn. That marks the highest point on this particular hill. We're back on the road after a light lunch and time to crawl over the rock. These climbs aren't challenging at all. Anybody with a reasonable amount of fitness would be able to do them quite easily. Usually the summit is marked by a cairn. People have built a stack of rocks that indicates the highest point. Yeah, anyway, we're heading back now to Victoria Rocks Road. From there, I'm pretty sure we're still going to Lake Johnson. And then, depending on what time we get there, depends on whether we camp there the night or move perhaps a little bit closer to home, heading westward.
No problem.
That is a good one, and it's a free one.
Well, we're just going to go in the opposite direction to the way we should be going. We've turned left onto the Hyden to Norseman Road, only so we can have a look at Lake Johnson. Some of the group haven't been here before, so it's an opportunity. I mean, it's nothing special, it's just a dry salt lake, but yeah, what the hell, we've come this far, we might as well have a look. Alright, well, we've had a brief opportunity to have a look at Lake Johnson. It looks like we're going to continue on to a recognised campsite called the Breakaways. It does have some interesting geology there, plus there are some facilities along Jobdunny and fire rings and that sort of stuff. So that's probably about an hour away. We'll still pull up fairly early this afternoon. We've arrived at the Breakaways. I think they're thinking about going out the back. It's a recognised campground here, and it's currently school holidays, so there's probably a chance that other people will already be here. It'll be devoid of firewood, so yeah, we might go down the back towards the dry salt lake and see what the pickings are like down there. Well, this is our final morning on the road. All of us should be home later on today. We're about 5 hours from Perth, and I think most people have agreed just to go home independently from here rather than stay in a group. A couple, in fact, have already left before sunrise this morning. So, yeah, be home in a few hours. So it looks like this is the final approach. And if this is the final approach, you know what that means? See you on the other side.